Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Jocelyn Binwi, a content creator based in Douala, Cameroon. And in today's video guys, we're going to be talking about some of the common hygiene mistakes that we all should avoid. These mistakes I'm going to talk about, some of them are related to both men and women, and some of them are related only to women, and some related only to men. So if you're interested in a video like this, just stay tuned and watch till the end. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, do me well to hit the subscribe button down there, turn on your notification bell so that once any new video comes in, you get a notification and you watch. The first hygiene mistake we are going to talk about, guys, is the fact that we need to train ourselves to avoid using our hands a lot to touch our face. Because during the day when we go about our activities, we use our hands a lot, and when you use your hands to touch your face, each time you use your hands to touch your face, or maybe the germs or the bacteria that you have been picking up with your hands, and then you take it to your face, our faces are so fragile that when you use your hands like that, after touching a lot of things, greeting people, in our African society we greet people a lot with the hands. After using your hands maybe to greet people or even to touch things as we go about our daily activities, and then we use those same hands to touch our faces, it is not really hygienic, guys. It's not really good, because those germs and bacteria that we pick up and we take our hands to our faces like that, we put them on our face, and the skin on our face is so fragile that we can carry those germs to our face, and maybe we start having skin infections and things like that. So we need to avoid using our hands a lot during the day to touch our face. I know it's really difficult, because even for me, I'm still learning how to do, I'm still training myself to do that. It's just practice. So I'm still training myself to do that. It's not really easy, because most of the time you see, especially for us women, that we put on makeup, sometimes you have an oily face and you find yourself using your hand a lot to clean the oil on your face. So the best thing to do, guys, is to use something like tissue paper. If you have something like a clean handkerchief, guys, or these disposable tissue papers, you can always use it like to clean your face. And when cleaning your face, you just damp it a little bit. You don't use it too hard, you don't press it too hard on your face, you just clean it a little, you just like damp it a little bit. And this goes both for men and women, not only for women, guys. We need to avoid using our hands a lot during the day on our faces. And guys, I also like to elaborate on this point. You see this disease that we usually have, like it comes seasonally, especially in Africa. It comes seasonally. These red eyes, they call it Apollo. I don't know how you call it in your own country, from wherever you're watching. We call it Apollo. They are red eyes. It causes your eyes to be red. Before, I thought that maybe when somebody has Apollo and just looks at you, the person when you look at the person, when the both of you have eye contact, you're going to get infected. But I came to learn that that's not how it is transmitted. It is transmitted when the liquid from the person's eyes, when the person who is infected, right, when the liquid from the person's eyes gets in contact, maybe the person cleans the eye or something and then touched maybe like a book or a table or any surface, and then another person came and touched it, you that you're not infected, once your hands come in contact with the germ, and then you use your hands maybe to clean your eye or maybe to touch any part that is closer to your eye, that's how you get infected. So we really need to train ourselves to avoid our hands from going to our face all the time. The next thing that we're going to talk about, guys, this one is really related to women, is about makeup. We need to avoid sharing our makeup with other people. It doesn't matter whether it's who, whether it's your sister, whether it's your daughter, maybe whether it's who. We need to avoid sharing makeup and its accessories. We need to avoid, you see these makeup brushes that we use, right? We need to avoid using other people's brushes on our face. Because once you use another person's brush on your face, there are some bacteria that maybe is on the person's skin that you're going to, as the person is using the brush on the face like that, it is picking up those bacteria, and then when you come and then you use it, the bacteria on the person's face is going to be transferred to yours, and maybe you start having bumps and things like that. So we need to avoid using other people's makeup accessories. We need to avoid that. Or even, for example, let me say this the lipstick that we use. Once somebody uses lipstick, it is not really advisable to just take it directly and put it on your own lips, because it's either you can share your germs with the person or the person might share theirs with you. Yeah, so we need to avoid using other people's makeups and their makeup accessories. Yeah, and this is going to take us to the next point. We need to make sure that we clean our makeup accessories as often as possible. For example, our makeup brushes, guys, we need to make sure that we clean them, because there are some people who can use their makeup brush like for a year or so without washing it, because you just wake up in the morning, maybe you're in a hurry, you just use it like that and you go your way. It is not really healthy. It's not advisable, guys. Let's just practice this and make sure that we clean our makeup brushes. At least if we can't clean it like once a week, we could clean it like after 2 weeks or so. Yeah, as often as possible, in order to avoid our faces from having bumps and other things like that. Yeah, though I'm not saying that it is the only cause of bumps on the face, guys, but if we work towards this, we see that we're going to get some improvement. Yeah, so we're going to move to the next point. We should make sure that we wash our hands well after using the restroom. We wash our hands with soap. Make sure that our hands are clean after using the restroom. Some people think that you wash your hands after using the restroom only when you have pooed. No, even when you pee, guys, you make sure that you wash your hands anytime you use the restroom. For whatever reason you're there, once you're leaving, make sure that your hands are clean and dried. Yeah, it is very healthy. It keeps us clean. It helps to avoid us from spreading germs and bacteria. And especially for us ladies who usually have these nails, you see these artificial nails that we put on. Yeah, you'll find that if you're not careful, right, a lot of germs usually hide a lot inside these nails. Once you see somebody with artificial nails, right, when the nails have been there, if you're not careful, if you're not always cleaning your nails, you'll find a lot of germs that are hiding inside these nails, guys. That's why sometimes when I have these artificial nails on, I really don't enjoy eating food with my hands, especially like something like food like these soft swallows that it can easily enter your nails and things like that. I don't really feel good eating with these long nails. So whenever we use the restroom, we make sure that we wash our hands well, wash the inside of our nails, make sure that it is clean. This is going to save us from a lot of germs. The next thing we're going to talk about, guys, are our pillowcases and bed sheets. Guys, there are some people who can sleep on their bed sheets for months upon months without changing them, especially people who tend to sleep alone. Guys, we need to be cleaning our bed sheets often, especially our pillowcases. You see, for us ladies who usually have hair oil on our head, we use different products on our head. When we are going to bed, we need to make sure that we tie our hair or we put on something that is going to cover our hair, in order that we should avoid our pillowcases from getting too dirty, because sometimes it might actually be dirty and have germs and we might not know. It's always advisable that we clean our bed sheets and pillowcases at least once a week. Yeah, once a week we make sure that we change our bed sheets and clean them. You see, our skin has some dead cells. Our bodies have some dead cells that when you sleep on your pillowcase or on your bed sheet for too long without cleaning it, you see all those dead skin cells, they go on the bed sheet and on the pillowcase. And then when you have slept there for too long, you see it starts turning into something else, and it can cause your skin to start breaking. It can give you any other skin infection, which is not really advisable, which is not really good, guys. The next thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is changing our toothbrushes. We need to make sure that we change our toothbrushes as often as possible. We should avoid using toothbrushes for so long without changing them, guys. We need to change our toothbrushes. Once you use it, let me say for a month, as my husband usually says, once you use it for a month, you make sure that you change it and get another one. And even for the kids, we need to be conscious about this, guys. All of us are learning. It's not like even myself that I'm talking about this, I'm perfect. Making this video is simply working like a reminder to me. Yeah, so anytime I watch this video, it's going to serve as a reminder for me. The next thing, guys, we're going to move on to our regular, like changing our sanitary pads as often as possible. I've already talked about that in one of my previous videos. We need to change our sanitary pads and even these pants liners that we use, guys. It's not good to stay with a pants liner, one pants liner from morning to night. You can imagine the work that is going on down there. It's not really advisable. And even our sanitary pads, we make sure that we change them as often as possible. When we are menstruating, you make sure that you change your pads. You don't allow your pad to get too wet before you change it. And some people even allow theirs to get too wet to the point that they get stains and things like that. And if you're somebody who has a heavy menstrual flow, guys, always make sure that when you're going out, when you're moving around, you have some extra pads in your bag so that you can always change anytime you're getting wet. You make sure that you change in order to stay clean and smell good down there. The next thing we're going to talk about, guys, is the fact that we should make sure that we change our underwears. Normally we're supposed to bathe in the morning. We're supposed to bathe at least 2 times a day. We bathe in the morning, we wear a different underwear, and we bathe in the evening and we wear a different underwear. This goes especially to men, guys. Men are so fond of wearing underwears and repeating them. For most ladies, it's a little bit rare to see women who wear underwears and repeat. Most men wear underwears and repeat a lot. They are fond of doing this. So let's make sure that we bathe. When we bathe in the morning, we wear different underwear, and when we bathe in the evening, we wear something else. And once you are bathing and you remove your underwear, guys, just make sure that you clean it at once, because some men tend to pile their underwears a lot such that they end up not having a new one to put on, and then they end up putting on the dirty one that they have already worn. And you know that down there they don't really get dirty like for us ladies. Let me say, if you put on the pants without putting on the pants liner, I bet you for a lady you're not going to feel fine to repeat that pants again. But for a man it is different, so they are tempted to using on their underwears repeatedly, which is not really healthy. For any guys watching this video, please make sure that you change your underwears as often as possible. Bathe in the morning, wear something else, and in the evening you wear something else. And once you bathe, just make sure that you wash your underwear. If it's your pants, you wash it. Make sure that you wash it and dry, so that you're not going to run short of pants and then end up putting on something that is dirty. And for ladies, the underwear that I'm going to talk about, guys, is our bras, our breastwear, right? Let's make sure that we change this often. So many women are tempted of putting on bras for so long, like for so long. Some ladies can put on one bra for 1 month continuously without washing it. Yeah, it happens, which is not really healthy. It is not clean and it's not healthy, since it is something that when you put it on, and our bodies are so sensitive to dirt and bacteria, guys. Once you put it on for so long, as you're rubbing oil on your body, and our body has dead skin cells, as I earlier talked about, the bra that we put on continuously, it picks up just those germs, and it's something that is tied on our body, so it picks it up and piles it up, which has an effect on your body. You might not see it visually, but it's not really healthy. So guys, let's make sure that we change our underwears as often as we should. And another thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is our hair nets. You see these nets that we put on, and now most ladies have this thing that we call hair bonnets. Yeah, let's make sure that we clean our nets and our bonnets as often as possible, because guys, ladies can be tempted to put on their hair nets for even close to a year without washing it. And when they put it in water, oh my goodness, come and see the color of the water changing. And at times, you know, we usually have a lot of oil on our hair, right? So the oil mixes with the germs, with the dirt on the net, and once you put it in water and apply soap on it, you see that the soap is not going to foam, guys, which is not really good. Please, let's make sure that we wash, we clean our hair nets and our hair bonnets, or our head ties, or is it headgear? Yeah, we make sure that we clean them as often as possible, and this is also going to help avoid our bed sheets from getting dirty. Another thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is our towels. Please, let's make sure that when we use our towels, you don't leave it in the bathroom where there is no sun. Make sure that you dry your towels outside. Once you have your bath, just simply take your towel outside and spread it somewhere, such that the towel can get dry, so that when you're using it, for the next time, it shouldn't be wet, because a wet towel is not really healthy, guys. You can pick up germs from there once you use it, and then you dry it, especially under the sun. The sun rays are going to fall on it, and whatever germ that is there is going to kill it. Yeah, so let's make sure that when we use our towels, we spread it outside so that it should get dry, and any germs that is there, the sun rays is going to kill it for us. And when we are using it for the next time, our towel is fine. And not only using it and drying outside, guys, let's also make sure that we clean our towels as often as possible. That is another thing that so many people fail to clean often, guys. Normally we're supposed to use our towels, like, let me say, averagely, if you've used it for too long, you use it for 1 week and you wash it. If it's possible, you can even use it, like, let me say, for 3 days. Like for my kids, when they use their towels, like, for 3 days, I change it, I take another one. If you can change it as often as possible, as long as you see that, because you see our towels, guys, after bathing, our bodies, I'm still going to talk about this, dead skin cells. You will see that some of us, our towels are getting dirty, but you don't understand why. You've had your bath and then you use your towel to wipe your clean body, and the towel is getting dirty, because our bodies have dead skin cells, such that when you bathe like that, you wet your body, and it's easy for the skin cells to peel off at that time. And then when you use your towel and wipe it, you see that your towel is going to be getting dirty. So let's make sure that we don't allow the skin cells to accumulate a lot on our towels. So that's why we need to change our towel. We need to wash our towels as often as possible. Next thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is our ears. This is something that most people neglect a lot. Let's make sure that we clean our ears. If we're not using ear cotton, good ear cotton to clean our ears, we should clean our ears when we're having our bath. You can also use your face towel, like, you just use your face towel, put it in and clean it. It doesn't mean that you should put the face towel right inside your ear, guys, just the outer part of it, like this part. We make sure that we clean our ears. If we are not cleaning it when we're having our bath, we make sure that we use ear cotton as often as possible to clean our ears. There is one comedian who even said that he wanted to kiss his girlfriend's ear, and it tasted like he had eaten bitter leaf. Yeah, I remember my colleague shared that comedy with me. So it tasted like he had eaten bitter leaf. Imagine in such a situation, maybe you're in motion with your darling or with your sweetheart, and then he goes on your ear and it's tasting so bizarre, guys. You can imagine that. So in order to avoid that, let's make sure that we clean our ears as often as possible. And another thing I'm going to talk about, guys, this goes mostly for men. Please, men, make sure that you change your socks, right? You change your socks as often as possible. It goes same with underwears. I don't know why I left out this point when I was talking about underwears. Make sure that you change your socks. There are some men who can put on socks for as long as possible. They can put on one socks for 1 month, and when they remove their shoes, when they take off their shoes, guys, the kind of smell that will be coming from their shoes, and even when they sit beside you, you'll be getting one ugly smell. So men, please make sure that we wash. When we're washing our underwears, we wash our socks also. Make sure that our socks are clean and we are good to go, and we're going to be smelling good around people and not smelling like foul poop. And the last point goes for ladies. Let's make sure that we clean our private parts. When we pee, we make sure that we clean our private parts well with tissue. And in one of my videos, I also talk about the kind of tissue that we need to use. Let's avoid using all these colored and perfumed tissues, guys, to clean our private parts when we pee. We make sure that we use the white plain tissue to clean our private parts. When you pee, make sure that you clean it, because those droplets, when they go on your pants and they stay there for some time, it starts forming one kind of smell and can even build up bacteria that can give you vagina itching. So guys, this is all I thought I should share with you all. I hope this is going to go a long way to serve as a reminder for all of us. Yes, I know there are some of these things that we are already doing, and there are some that we haven't yet practiced. So please, if you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. And if you haven't yet subscribed, do me well to hit the subscribe button down there and turn on your notification bell, so that once any new video comes in, you get a notification and you watch. Thank you so much, and see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.